What's going on, everyone out there in YouTube land? Today we're going to check out a pod system. Yes, another pod system. This one coming from a company called Bohrvape. If you guys remember the Chaser mod that I reviewed, this real awesome 21700 mod, well, same company came out with this pod system that they're calling the Hunter. And as you guys seen in the intro, it kind of looks like an alien. Yes. Aside from the alien look, that's pretty much all it kind of offers. It's kind of the run-of-the-mill pod system, so yeah, you know the drill. This was sent over directly by Bohrvape for the purpose of this review. If you guys are looking to pick one up, you could hop online, do a search. I found it for around $29. Coil heads or pods, a 2-pack will run you about $6.99. So inside the box, you got the Hunter pod system device. They will toss in 2 empty pods to get you started. You'll get 2 or 4, should I say, of these little clips that go on the side. I'll show you what these do in a moment. Micro USB charging cable and a user manual. Dimensions on the Hunter: 89 millimeters tall, 44 millimeters wide, and 12 millimeters thick. It is constructed of a plastic and zinc alloy. It is available in 5 different color options, and they're going for the alien look. If you look on the front right here, you can see the alien eyes. Well, those eyes, when you're vaping it, actually light up. If we start at the top right here, we got your pod. Pod is held in with a magnet. The magnets are decent. The pod doesn't fall out or anything like that, but if you want, you can hold it by the pod, and you can kind of fling out the device. So it's not the tightest, but it does work. Removing the pod, have a look at it. It's going to hold up to 2 mLs of liquid, and they include 2 of them. You'll get one, which is a 1.6 ohm coil that's using Japanese organic cotton, and then they're going to include a 1.2 ohm pod. That's a ceramic coil. So you'll get a different vape, different flavor off each pod, depending on which one you choose. Now, to fill these up, it's pretty easy, pretty typical, pretty standard. There's a little rubber plug, and it's kind of hard to notice because it's all kind of blended in, but the plug is on this side, and you got to have nails for this one. So there's your fill port. As you can see, it's pretty large. Once it's filled up and ready to go, as always, make sure you let it sit for about 5 or 10 minutes because you want the juice to absorb into the cotton before you start vaping it. Take the pod, drop it into the device. You'll see the lights kind of flash that will indicate that, hey, we made a connection, and that's pretty much it. You're ready to vape. It does have auto draw, so as you inhale, it turns on, turns off. There's no buttons anywhere on this device. You'll notice the micro USB charge port located on the side, and that's going to charge the onboard internal battery, which is a 360 milliamp hour battery, which is actually kind of small for such a large device. Now, the LED lights on the front right here, as you vape, they're going to light up like alien eyes, and depending on the charge status of your battery, depends on the color the lights are going to be. So if they're green, between 60 and 100%, if they're blue, between 60 and 10%, and when it's red, that means your battery's less than 10%. It's time to charge it. One of the interesting features of this device is you can remove these panels on the side here to give it a different look. They do include 2 panels inside the kit. I think you could purchase extra ones, but I'm not sure where to find them. All you're going to do is kind of get your nail in one of the grooves right here. I think it's at the top. No, it's at the bottom, I think. There is a special way, I think, to remove these. Like an easier way. You just slide them off, maybe? I don't know. I've been just taking my nail, stick it in there. Holy Jesus, and pull it off. There we go. I'm pretty sure there is an easier way, but that way works for me. And there's little nubs, little tiny little nubs. They're not using magnets that kind of pop into the holes to hold it in place. So they're not going to fall off on you. So if you want to change it up, you can install the different ones. And all you're going to do is just pop these in place. Make sure you don't cover up the micro USB port, of course. And there's one. This is the cutout for the micro USB port, which is right there. That's 2. And there we go. I got a different look. I think I covered everything. Actually, no, I didn't. This will put out between 7 and 12 watts, depending on the charge status of your battery and depending on which pod you're using. And it only takes 30 to 40 minutes to fully recharge the battery. I think it's said in the manual or on the box it takes 3 hours. That was actually a misprint. It only takes 30 to 40 minutes to charge it when it's completely dead. So that's it, guys, for the Hunter pod system. Let's jump back up and have a vape, shall we? So as many of you may know, pod systems very popular at the moment, of course. Every company has 1, 2, 3, 4, even companies that are not even around anymore are coming back to release their own pod system. And I know you guys hate pod videos. I know you're tired of hearing about pods, but there's new vapors coming to the market, to the community every single day. So companies want to cash in. They want to, make as many pods as possible. But one thing is, how do you get your pod system, your device, to stick out from all the hundreds of pod systems on the market? You try to add different features. You try to make it look a little different. You try to market it a little different. And Bohrvape did just that by making this device look like the head of an alien. The eyes light up when you vape it. You can remove the panels. Now, what kind of market are they trying to cater to? I'm not sure, and I don't want to say, because I'm 41 years old. I like aliens. I love lights, but some people may disagree about that. The pod on here, it is a very low-powered, underpowered, cool vape. Imagine smoking a Marlboro, smoking a Newport, and then bumming an ultralight cigarette off someone. That's what it feels like. So it's a really underpowered vape. Not much flavor on it either. And filling it, very standard, very traditional. You got the silicone plug. So I wish the pod, in my personal opinion and preference, had a little bit more heat and a little bit more power and a little bit more flavor to it. The magnets on here are not super strong, but I can't really complain about them because they didn't give me any issues. So the magnets do work. The battery life, it's a small battery for such a big device, so keep in mind you will probably be charging it a few times a day, depending on how much you vape. The LED lights, I guess, if you like lights, are a cool idea. The ability to change out the panels, I mean, if you're into that kind of thing, but let's be realistic, folks. Are you really going to change out the panels on this thing? Probably not. So I give Bohrvape an A for effort for trying to do something a little bit different, but I don't know. I don't know. I really, honestly, truly don't know. It's a pod system, and when I get a pod system like this that really just doesn't do much of anything new, I'm just kind of left with a video like this where at the end of it, I'm kind of just sitting here wasting time. So, yeah, that's the Bohrvape Hunter, folks. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. I'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure you guys build safe, and as always, vape on.